So I think that's a good thing, right? I think that something shouldn't be held over somebody's head.
Right.
But like your criminal record, that motherfucker is on there.
Absolutely.
So if certain points have to be made and this have to be referenced for that point to be made to tie to a point that's current, that motherfucker can come back up.
Sure.
I went through this recent discussion with my girl where
That nigga, go ahead.
No, because
I wish the audio could have seen the nigga reaction. Like I just did a fucking Harry Potter spell.
Yeah, this how real quick.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I'm gonna bring it back. Recently, I've been reflecting on myself, King. And I'm thinking like, all right,
Because he hang with me now.
not
Well,
all
we don't
actually.
hang. Strike that from the record. Because he been around me.
I really don't fuck with this person. But you know, as a man, as a person I consider the leader of my relationship, doesn't mean she doesn't have a voice, but I'm the leader of my relationship. I start thinking like, all right, can I start going about things in different ways to get the results I want, whatever. So if she may say like, if she takes something the wrong way, could I be like, all right, I could have responded in a certain way, even if I wasn't wrong. I could say it differently to make her receive it better. So I started thinking about things like that, whatever. Ooh. But at one time she said something where she was like, yo, you threw that in my face or brought it up. And I was receiving it like, okay, am I wrong for throwing her face or her head? But I was like, no, I'm not. I was using a past example to try to divert from what already happened already. Yeah. So like it's relevant now. I'm not just throwing it in your face.
But how did you say it when you said it in that moment?
It wasn't correct. We wasn't arguing, but she was triggered.
Okay.
I suppose because I was fucking right the first time and I'm right now. But you know,
it don't matter how accountable a woman is. We also don't like to be wrong. So that's
hard too.
I can be real with that.
I think so I think holding something over someone's head is unnecessarily mentioning it in things that have no correlation. Right. It's like point. You know, you wore red that day, so I know you when you wearing green. It's like they're not even correlated. Right. You know what I mean? But if it's a situation where it's like, listen, the last time we were in this particular situation, this was the outcome. So I'm not trying to experience the same thing. Right. But before you can get to the ladder of the statement is, why you bringing that up? Exactly, you said you forgave me. Why? So it's like, nah, sometimes just let us land the plane. Because like even now me, like I do this in regular conversations, like where I rush to where somebody may be going. You know what I mean? And a large part, a lot of times because I'm intuitive and always paying attention to context, I can understand somebody where they're going. But I had to train myself to not make an assumption. Right? So it's like, I want to let you speak for yourself because I want to hear your thoughts on the matter. I could think I know where you're going with it because of something you might have said before, but I still want to give you the space to present it, even if it's the same thing. And then I'll say, I already knew that. Right. But I want to allow you to get to that point. So to the whole, what I'm saying, what tends to happen when a man is trying to bring and reference something up, we don't get the opportunity to land the plane to make it make sense for now. It just like, nigga, you bringing up the past, you throwing it in my face. But often more times than not, we get shit thrown in our face. So why do y'all want us to forgive immediately but forget, but y'all don't want to forget never?
Because we're emotional beings and y'all rationalize the situation. It's like, solve a problem, get it done, that's it. We're like, A, B, C, D, turn around, go back to A, then come back to B, then C, and then we do it. We do the most like with circles. Any kind of situation.
She like accountable
we like
woman.
Circle.
It is, though. It's so true.
It's
fucking hilarious.
I love what Q said, and that you brought up leadership, and that leadership looks so different in so many different ways. It's not just like, I'm a man and I'm gonna pay bills and lead this family.
That's how you say.
It's like
that's do it again. That's us being macho.
You know? But it's really like knowing your woman, right? And knowing what like triggers her and knowing how to land a conversation to get the desired outcome so that she can hear you. 100%. That's leadership. Yep. Knowing that like if you do it that way, she gonna spaz. She about to cuss me out. Right. Like that's leadership.
Yeah, 100%.
If you don't want that, then again, and I haven't figured this shit out. I'm still. It's funny. My stepdad told me this a while ago. Who divorced from my mom. So I was like, all right, nigga, all right, cool.
Nigga, it didn't work for you.
Right. But he was like, when I was telling him something, he's like, yo, are you? And again, my stepdad, he like a super caveman type nigga, whatever. So he's like, are you a fucking man? Like, are you the man? Like, what the fuck? Like, lead then. Tell her, like, you go. And it was just such a funny conversation because I was like, I guess you're right, but I don't know. But
nigga was confused as fuck. Walking in.
Like,
they don't got no hair. He twisting his fucking knot.
But his whole thing was like, yo, if you a leader, basically, then you need to get the results you want, you need to properly deliver it or convey it or lead in the first place, whatever. Now, again, I still find myself going in a circle sometimes because, again, it's like if I'm already, it's like I always say, check the source. If I already feel like the way you filtered the information in the first place may be flawed or skewed or off, how I'm trying to bounce back or fix it, I can possibly keep going this same thing because I wasn't wrong in the first place. You was kind of off. So it's always like I've been wrestling with that, trying to figure it out.
I got two things I'm gonna say. So for one, because I had 2 points I was gonna make. I'm gonna just start with the tail end of it. Whenever I'm trying to be understood, right, I always find a correlation that they can understand, right? And even if I'm being logical, I try to draw from where their emotions come from in that space. So it goes back to my whole 10s and 2s concepts. If I understand that something that's a 10 to me is a 2 to my girl, I try to locate something that would be a 10 to her and say, well, let's reimagine it in this way. And how would you feel in this moment if this was? So then even if she can't rationalize with my logic, she can rationalize with how I'm feeling about it. And then I try to land a plane with that. Secondly is I just accepted the fact that I might not always be understood. Yep. And I just said, you know what? I'm perfectly fine with her not getting it, but I'm right. And I just don't give a fuck.
And just leave.
That's just what it is. And that's leadership as well, because I got all women in my household. So it's like it's easy to make that's the bad guys. Like we can easily now I'm not saying it happens, but it's easy for that to be a thing because it's more togetherness and understanding of said experiences and whatever, right? Now luckily for me they kind of go at each other, but no.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah. Nah, I stay away. I'll do y'all. But all in all, it's just like one of them situations where being in that, that's why I'm tired because I know I just lost my thought again. Where was I saying? Nigga, sleepy. But
he gonna need you to take the lead.
Yeah. But it's leadership. See how cues work? No pun intended. So it's just like being an effective leader is also just understanding, just seeing the whole board and knowing that if I gotta be the bad guy, y'all don't understand what I'm seeing now. Y'all see it in the future, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm literally okay with being misunderstood because most of the time men drive ourselves into the ground trying to make them understand where we're coming from, and then that's where the whole verbal aggression and the passion start to speak because it's like, how don't you get it? But if you just go into it understanding that they really might not get it, and that's fine. And sometimes they get it and just act like they don't because they don't want you to be right. So you just accept it, like, you know what? She just might not get it, and that's okay.
And we talked about this before, because you know what they do sometimes or half the time? 2 years later, you know what? You was right. Yeah, and it's like,
I don't know what you talking about.
Monty taking it to the grave. This is the same person that don't have no to the grave moments that's taking that to the grave.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
So let's talk.